Today, we're diving deep into the world of American coins to uncover the hidden treasures behind two classic pieces, the 1975 cents coin and the 1975-cent coin. We'll be exploring their design, history, and the fascinating auction records that have catapulted some of these humble coins to values in the millions. If you're curious about rare and valuable coins, or maybe you're holding onto a 1970 penny or nickel right now, stay tuned to find out what makes these coins so desirable. Let's start with the 1975 cents coin, a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. In the early 1970s, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of 1-cent coins each year. But what's interesting is that there were actually a few notable varieties for this year, and some of these are highly sought after by collectors today. One of the key features of the 1970 penny is that it's made of 95% copper, unlike more recent pennies, which are primarily zinc. These coins weigh 3.11 grams and have a diameter of 19 millimeters. This composition and structure gave the 1970 penny a solid, high-quality feel that collectors appreciate. But, there's something extra special about this year's penny. Certain versions were struck with double dies, creating unique, collectible variations. The design on the 1970 penny is familiar to most. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner back in 1909, and on the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. That brings us to the 1970s small date and large date varieties. The S mint mark shows the penny was struck in San Francisco. The large date and small date varieties have different spacing and thickness in the date, which might seem minor, but to collectors, these differences mean everything. Now, let's talk value. The small date version of the 1970s penny is considered rarer, especially in mint condition, and that rarity translates to higher prices. If you happen to own a 1970s small date penny in flawless condition, you might be in for a windfall. One of these rare pennies fetched an incredible $20,000 at auction, a hefty price for a 1-cent coin. And, if you're lucky enough to find one with a double die error, you could be looking at even higher values. These coins can reach 5 figures at auction, and collectors are always on the lookout for well-preserved pieces with unique characteristics. Moving on to the 1975 cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. The 1970 nickel doesn't have as many varieties as the penny, but there are still some key features and historical notes to consider. In the 1970s, the U.S. was experiencing an economic shift, and coins became increasingly important for daily transactions. The Jefferson nickel was struck in 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a durable, corrosion-resistant finish that helped it survive in circulation for years. The coin weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. The design on the 1970 nickel remains iconic. On the obverse, we have the profile of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag in 1938. This design has become synonymous with the American 5-cent coin. The reverse side showcases Jefferson's home, Monticello, beautifully crafted and full of detail. These elements made the nickel an attractive piece, and with good preservation, the details truly stand out. When it comes to value, rarity, and auction prices, the 1970 nickel generally doesn't hit the high 5 figures as often as the 1970s penny. However, there are still a few special cases. Some 1970 nickels were struck with misaligned dies, creating unique error coins that collectors covet. A few high-grade examples with these errors have been known to reach several $1,000s at auction. Additionally, any 1970 nickel in a high mint state, like MS-67 or MS-68, can command premium prices. A stunning example of a 1970 nickel sold for over $10,000 due to its pristine condition and rarity. So, if you come across a 1970 nickel in near-perfect shape, you might want to get it graded to see if it could fetch a premium. If you're on the lookout for these valuable coins, remember that condition is key. The better the preservation, the higher the potential value. For the 1970 penny, pay special attention to the small date variety and check for any double dies, especially around the date and the mint mark. For the nickel, errors and high-grade examples are the primary drivers of value. Getting your coins graded by a reputable service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can help secure their value and make them more appealing to potential buyers. And there you have it, folks. The story behind the 1971 cent and 5-cent coins, from their historical context to their current value on the collector's market. Some coins might be hiding in your pocket change or a jar in your home, and they could be worth much more than their face value.